Hi Leo, this is Amanda from By Luna's Light. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to bring you your weekly update, your weekly reading. Now this is a timeless reading, so whenever you see this video will be the perfect time for you to receive its message. This is also a collective reading, so please just take what resonates for you and leave the rest behind. If you haven't already, please check out my Facebook page, By Luna's Light. That is where I do the occasional live reading, as well as weekly pick a pile readings every Sunday to see what your week ahead will look like. And I also have an Instagram account, By Luna's Light Tarot, where I do daily inspirations and daily pick a card readings as well. So check those out if you feel drawn to do so. I'm going to open up your reading today with the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Angels and guides, please come forward for my Leo. What do my Leo need to know in regards to their life at this time? Too many cards, Spirit. What do my Leos need to know in regards to their life at this time? Okay, bottom of the deck is Crown Games, right use of power. So there could be a power struggle going on at this time within your life. This is the number 8. So 8 is all about abundance or possibly about self. So there could be a power struggle going on at work, perhaps. Or Spirit is very much saying like this is using the right use of power. So there is someone holding a mask here as well. There's a call to be very truthful in how you approach anything in your life, really, especially relationships. Realizing the type of power you do have in relationships, how the dynamic goes. Sometimes we don't recognize or realize that we have power in a situation that is kind of overshadowing others. So it's definitely important to realize where we stand in our power as well. Power can be a good and a bad thing. It just depends on the context. Sometimes having power over people, of course, can be a negative thing because it can stifle the other person, depending on how you empower them. But standing in your own power is also a good thing. I know that gets a little confusing, but you kind of see what I mean. We're not here to disempower others by empowering ourselves. We're here to empower ourselves, and hopefully it positively impacts those around us. Okay, so your first card is Galactic Mushroom, the Divine Matrix. This is number 24, which breaks down into a 6. Sorry if that's blurry. My camera's not doing the best right now. Number 6 is all about love. Now, with the Divine Matrix, how I see that is how we are connected to this earth and the divine. It's all one big matrix. And what we put out into the world is what we receive. So be mindful of what you are putting out into the world, what kind of energy you are putting out. Again, there's that power, right? That power struggle. If you're putting out energy that is stifling other people, we're going to get that back in return, unfortunately. So be mindful of what you are exuding at this time. Now, Galactic Mushroom, I mean, if you if you look at it as well, mushroom is hallucinogen, of course, psilocybin, but it's also there to open up the mind, open up to new possibilities and new dimensions. And that is kind of what the Divine Matrix is all about, is that limitless limitless opportunities to gain more knowledge, both within ourselves and with the world. So really tapping into the divine matrix at this time to get more information about who we are, who you are, and where you're supposed to go with this life. What is your purpose here? Now we have hollow bone, teachability. This is number 28, which comes down to a 10, which is a number 1. So a 10 is also, it's funny because a 10 is endings, like death, endings, but it breaks down into a 1 as well, which is new beginnings. So with death comes rebirth, right? There's an ending of a cycle here. With teachability as well, it's like you're becoming the teacher in some regard. You are becoming the teacher. So perhaps there's some sort of promotion going on in your life, in your work, perhaps. Maybe you're starting to energetically upgrade into a teacher at this time. Now, I firmly believe we're all teachers and we're all students. It just depends on the situation, of course, right? But in some aspect of your life, you are reaching the teacher status where you are now able to pass down your own wisdom to others. And that is where that right use of power comes in. When you are a teacher, you have the ability to greatly influence those around you, those that you are teaching. So be mindful of how you're using that power. How are you using this sense of power and this teaching to ultimately help your students grow? Yeah, just be mindful when you are teaching that, because sometimes, how do I want to say this? Sometimes our own flaws get passed down without us even knowing. It's just kind of how we are, right? We're coming in as teachers with both flaws and skills. So it's just being mindful of what you are passing down to the next generation, being mindful of what you are passing down as skills, insight, wisdom. You are coming into that teacher level, so you do have so much to share. It's just, again, being mindful of how you're sharing it and what you are sharing. Okay. I'm going to choose a couple of the Moonology cards now. Spirit also wanted me to point out too, with this card, it's called hollow bone for a reason. So teachers are very much, are very much hollow vessels for spirit to come through, for the divine to come through and teach their teachings. So when you become a teacher, be mindful that you are a vessel. Spirit is going to be sending you divine wisdom and messages and insight to pass down to that next generation. Okay, spirit and angel guides. I said that wrong. Angels and spirit guides. Sorry. Please, what do my Leo need to know at this time in their life? Okay. Bottom of the deck, conclusions are within reach. So there's the end of that cycle coming through. The end of the learning cycle, I believe, for a lot of you, where you were kind of going into this dark night of the soul, really trying to figure out your own shit, basically. Like, what is going on with you? Where's your baggage? Where do you need to heal more? Where do you need to upgrade more? How do you need to move forward? How do you want to move forward? All of those things. And you're now at this full moon eclipse stage where you have reached that teacher stage. So you're coming out of the shadows and you're finally ready to impart wisdom on the next generation. Or whoever is drawn to you at this time. Okay, so it says you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. Interesting. So perhaps, you know, maybe this pandemic has really been weighing on your mind. This is simply saying that, you know what, they have your back. Spirit has your back. Your loved ones are safe from this. So are you. Um, there's no need to go into your shell, especially if something is scaring you at this time. Maybe you're feeling really nervous about being in this teacher mode. Maybe you're feeling nervous about taking that next step. So perhaps you're wanting to kind of go like a Cancer and into their shell. You're a bit vulnerable coming out of that shadow side, out of the hermit mode. But you know, you are safe. You're safe to come out. It's now the right time for you to come out of your shell and to come out of that hermit mode to greatly impact this world. And we have luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. So again, with the conclusion, here's that death card again, the end of a cycle, and it's a full moon here. Full moon eclipse especially, which is even more powerful. And now we have 2 new moons coming forward. Here's the rebirth. So luck is on your side with this new endeavor, and you are safe. Keep that in mind as you're moving forward. Spirit has your back. And you're in a new cycle now. You're entering into a new cycle. All right, I'm going to choose the Wildwood Tarot today for your tarot reading. Angels and guides, please come forward for my Leo. What do my Leo need to know in regards to their life at this time? That one really wants to come out. One more card, please. Okay, bottom of the deck is a Judgment card. Now this is the Great Bear in this deck. And it looks like a white bear. Could be a spirit bear. Judgment card is all about karma. So a karmic cycle is coming to a close here of some sort. That is what is coming to a close. Karmic cycle. So your first card is the 5 of Stones in the reverse. You're coming out of a time where you were feeling quite in the lack, maybe shut out from everyone else, not quite understanding why you're feeling left out in the cold or possibly abandoned by some people, very vulnerable. This could also be you in the hermit mode where you're really dealing with your shadow side, with even the pessimistic side possibly for some of you. But you're coming out of that now. You're coming out of this because it is in the reverse. You are now starting to see the abundance in your life. You're starting to see your worth again, your true value. And you're really starting to see a path open up for you for this new beginning. Now we have the Emperor in reverse. This could be your energy if you identify with the Emperor. The Emperor is all about moving forward. He's that leader, that teacher, really building himself an empire. But with him in the reverse, he's very unsure of himself, very insecure, possibly second guessing his decisions, not moving forward confidently whatsoever. So there is kind of a energetic confidence level here that is out of whack a bit. Now you could be dealing with a divine masculine who is also unstable at this time. Maybe this is your partner's energy, or this could be like a friend or family member that is greatly impacting your path at this time. Take that as it resonates. Now we have the Balance card coming forward. So there's a great need This is balance. This is temperance. Great need for patience in your life right now for rebalancing yourself at this time. You're in the process of rebalancing your life because, again, you're closing out a cycle and you're starting a new one. So there is that transition there. Your energy is going to be out of whack. You're going to be a little all over the place because that is what happens when you're transitioning into a new cycle. Your energy changes just as you do. We have Seven of Bows in the reverse. So you could be coming out of a time where you felt very defensive. Maybe in the past you were pushing people away, keeping them at a distance because you were in that hermit mode. You were in that need to figure out your own self again. So maybe, yeah, you were pushing people away. You were building walls. But you're coming out of that energy now with it in the reverse. You're now opening up to those around you and allowing people to come in again. You're no longer defending your energy anymore. Now we have the Seven of Arrows. Insecurity is coming in though. So you're still battling with that insecurity within you. And I feel like that's kind of, for some of you, ingrained from childhood. Like you've always, because Leo is very prideful, right? But there's always, like, I feel for some of you, that in the back of your head, that little voice saying, well, you're not good enough, or you're not doing it right, or, you know, like, we all have that negative narrative in our head in regards to something in our life. And I feel like a lot of you are dealing with your self-worth at this time, which is ultimately comes down to your confidence center, which is where Leos are supposed to thrive. So it's really needing to center yourself back in your own energy. Try and figure out where this stems from, this insecurity, and try to heal that, which I feel like a lot of you have been doing with that hermit time. Now we have the Sun card. Beautiful, beautiful Sun card. This is your card, Leo. This is the Leo card. So there is a lot of good things coming your way. There's a lot of passion, adventure, excitement, joy, especially if you're going to be teaching others what you've already learned. There's a joy within that of passing down everything that you have gone through, everything that you've learned and cultivated over this lifetime and past lifetimes. So I feel like when you finally get into that habit of teaching others, whatever that pertains to, you're going to find that this is like your sole purpose. You are here to inspire others and really share your gift with them. So this is going to bring so much joy into your life, so much happiness. You're starting to look more on the positive side. Now we have the Death card in reverse. There is supposed to be an ending here, but it's in a bit of a delay, it looks like. This is the Death card in reverse, means that something is not quite over. There's a bit of karma still lingering. There's something here that does need to be addressed or finished or completed. So you might be nearing the end into your transition, nearing the end into your new life, but there's still maybe one thing left to do. We are going to clarify these cards, of course, so bear with me. And we have the Ace of Vessels in the reverse as your last card. So perhaps you still need to fill your own cup first. The Ace of Cups can also pertain to relationships. So perhaps you're really cut off from a relationship at this time, maybe your family, your friends, or a romantic relationship. Perhaps there is a new beginning trying to come in and you're really pushing it away. Or this is simply that you really do need to fill your own cup before you can really truly step into your own power and into your teacher mode. It's time to finish off that hermit cycle appropriately so that your energy is at peak. Okay, So I'm going to use the Green Witch's Tarot to clarify today. Angels and guides, please come forward for my Leo. What do my Leo need to know in regards to their life at this time? Why is the Five of Stones in reverse? Okay, so Temperance card in reverse. So with Temperance, there's patience. Maybe you were very impatient in the past. This is all about compromising too. So with the Five of Stones in the reverse, it could be that you were not willing to compromise on something, and that is what kind of left you out in the cold. You weren't willing to compromise. Maybe you're being a little too, I don't want to sound like a Taurus, but like bullheaded, or too prideful, where you weren't willing to let people in to help or to compromise in a situation. This could also be that you lacked patience, perhaps. You lacked patience in your own healing journey. I'm sensing that some of you are trying to rush this healing journey. And that's possibly why this is unfinished. Some of you are just getting impatient with yourself. And you're like, okay, well, this should be over with. Why is this taking so darn long? Why am I in hermit mode for so long? It all has its own time. Unfortunately, you cannot rush it. As much as you want to get out of that, I completely understand. When you feel like you're done, you want to be done. But Spirit has its own divine matrix plan here. They have their own plan to really teach you what you need to learn before you can step into that teacher role, before you can come out of that hermit mode. Now we have the Green Man in the reverse with the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So this Emperor energy is out of whack. You're not able to turn into the leader that you need to be at this time, yet this teacher mode, because you're needing to focus on one thing. And I feel like you do need to focus on yourself first, which you have been doing, but you have to have the patience still that you do need. This is why this Temperance card is here as well. There's patience that is needed for this journey. Why is... Yep. See, it's all in divine timing. So you're still needing patience because divine timing is not here yet. With the Wheel of the Year in the reverse, divine timing is not right yet for you to fully forge ahead. This is coming up. You are closing out this cycle, but it needs to happen naturally. You can't just force this cycle to just end, because you're not learning everything you need to learn. And then you can't transition into a new cycle with all the knowledge that you need. So it does happen in divine timing, and right now patience is needed. Now we have Seven of Bows in the reverse. Yeah, you are pushing people away. So pushing people away to isolate your own self, basically. And this could be in regards to a lot of your relationships at this time, where you're pushing some people away and then you're wondering why no one's there. And you might not even realize that you're pushing people away, but in a sense you are. Especially if you're feeling really abandoned or out in the cold, maybe you are pushing them away because you already feel that way, or you're feeling that way because you're pushing them away. Take that as it resonates, but I do feel like you're not quite out of the loop as you think you are. There are a lot of people in your life that love and support you, and they want to be there for you. But if you're going to be putting up those boundaries and those walls, they're going to respect that. They're not going to try and force this on you. So you can't then turn around and say, well, no one's here for me. You know what I mean? When you're the one who's building these walls. That's very difficult for people to overcome, because they realize that you need that space. Seven of Arrows, insecurity. with the Two of Wands. Okay, so you're extremely insecure right now about this new beginning coming forward. You don't know which way your path is going to go. With the Two of Wands, there's a lot of passion involved behind this new endeavor, but you have a choice. There are two paths, and you're not quite sure at this time if you're making the right decision of becoming a teacher, of becoming that leader and taking control of a situation, or not so much taking control, but basically just leading people, being the leader of some sort. Like, I don't know if you're going to become a manager or um, an actual teacher, or, you know, passing down your own, maybe you do tarot as well, maybe passing down your own gifts through teaching as well, like whatever it pertains to. But you're second guessing it. You're like, will I be able to do this? And the answer is yes. You just need to go through this cycle properly first. And we have the Sun card and the Seven of Pentacles. So the Sun card here is you putting in all your time and effort into something lucrative, and you're starting to see the benefits of it. You're starting to see the rewards of this, whatever you're putting into, whether it's your career, whether it's your love life, whether it's, you know, your skills, your passion that you share with this world. You are starting to see things come of it, good things. And I mean, you could even have just, you know, started a YouTube channel and you're starting to see all the subscribers come in, or you're starting to get a lot of followers, right? It could be anything like that. Now we have the Death card with the King of Pentacles. Okay, so the King of Pentacles is coming through. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, Virgo, or a Taurus. Or this is simply saying this is not over, because you're needing to hone in on this energy. This is an entrepreneur right here. This is someone who is at the top of his game and is wanting to, or it has a stable foundation. So you're not quite ending that. Like, I feel like some of you might have to let go of a job too. Might have to let go of a job to start this new endeavor, and that's where you're really questioning, should I stay or should I go? Because of course you need to make a living to sustain yourself, and sometimes it requires taking a leap of faith to take that next step on a new path, right? So something is not ending here, because I feel like you're having a hard time letting go of an old job or an old way of making money. You're wanting to be more stable. And then we have the Ace of Cups. Now we have the Empress. The Empress is here, and the Empress is upright. She is all about rebirth and fertility, basically. So rebirth, this is the new beginning. And she's really full of life. And, you know, she trusts in herself, and very nurturing energy. So with this Ace of Cups, you need to nurture your inner divine feminine. Nurture yourself, fill up your cup again, and be a lot more tender with yourself on this path. Allow more nurturing to happen in your life with your relationships, especially because with this Ace of Cups, you've been pushing a lot of people away, perhaps, or your loved ones away. It's time to nurture and have a rebirth within those relationships, because those support systems are going to help you feel a lot better about this new path that you're on. And bottom of the deck is the Horn God. There is the Emperor upright. So here is the Karmic Cycle. It's all about this leadership, this hero's journey, basically. You're trying to come into this leadership role, this teaching role, but there's some sort of karma that needs to happen first, and that is that karmic cycle. That is you going into hermit mode and really challenging that inner narrative of your self-worth and of your true abilities, really figuring out who you truly are and believing in yourself again. And then once you come out of that karmic cycle, you're going to be in full emperor mode, and you have a divine masculine and a divine feminine coming through twice here, actually. So good news ahead. It's just allowing this cycle to come in divine timing. Allow it to happen naturally. All right, Leo, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this resonated for you at all, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys again next week. Take care.